So last night I shot another video where I took a Pottermore quiz, but when I went to edit it, I found that the sound had been slowed down, so my voice had been lowered in pitch, and then also by the end of the footage, the sync was completely off. So I have no idea how that happened. It was probably something to do with OBS Studio, since that's what I was using to record the thing. So unfortunately, I can't use that, and I'm going to have to reshoot that video. And the length of that video and the amount of editing that it would take, I just don't have the time to do that this week. Well, at least for this week's video. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to do another just random stream of consciousness type video because that's all I have time for. So let's go ahead and roll the thing. Hey guys, Sean here. So as I said, I don't really have much to necessarily talk about that I have planned for this video because it's just going to be rambling and coming up with topics as they enter my brain. So let's go ahead and start off with I'm getting a little nervous and excited because this week is San Diego Comic-Con and I will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe. And this is my first time ever going to San Diego Comic-Con. I am equal parts excited and just completely overwhelmed because there's just so much stuff that is going on at San Diego Comic-Con that I want to see. I haven't even really looked at the schedule yet to plan out what it is that I want to go to, but I just know that when I do, there's going to be so much of it and it's going to be overlapping. And the thing about San Diego Comic-Con is it isn't contained just within the convention center itself. It's just all over San Diego. Like, yes, the majority of it is in the convention center, but there's stuff going on at Petco Park. There's stuff going on at just local restaurants and bars around the area. It's just an insane thing. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to be able to see all the stuff I want to see. Hopefully, though, it makes for some really great videos because that's the main point of these conventions is getting some good content to throw up on to this wonderful platform that I have dedicated the last 2 years of my life to making stuff for. Okay, I haven't dedicated my life to it. I've dedicated about 4 or 5 hours a week to it. Well, except for in the case of VidCon where I dedicated 3 days to it, and the case of San Diego Comic-Con where I'm dedicating 4 days to it, and well, you understand what I'm saying. And speaking of content, I got a new game. It's this one right here, Dungeons & Dragons Wrath of Chardalon. It is a tabletop board game based in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, and the main point of this game, and the reason that I bought it, is because right here, it says for 1 to 5 players. So that means it has a solo mode, which is something that I really look for in tabletop board games. As I've been saying for like a year now, I want to start playing Marvel Legendary solo mode on a Twitch stream. I just haven't gotten around to it. So when I actually do start doing that, this will be something else that can be added to the rotation of that Twitch stream. So once I figure out how to play it and have played it a few times to understand how it works and all that. Speaking of Marvel Legendary, I just got to play it for the first time with other people the other night because on Wednesday nights at work we have been doing a tabletop gaming night and we did a campaign of Battle Stations, which is a space role-playing game, and that lasted for about 3 months. And then we started a actual D&D campaign, which I have been so excited for. I've been wanting to do since the beginning of the year. But unfortunately, after that first session, due to circumstances of people being out of town and stuff like that, we haven't been able to play again. And it's been like 4 weeks since we played. So last week, I took in Marvel Legendary and was like, here, let's play this game. And so I was able to play with 4 other people, which is the max number is 5 for that game. And it was a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing it again sometime. Unfortunately, due to the amount of expansions that I have for it, which is almost all of them, but 3, I think, at this point, I'm trying to figure out the best way to transport it, because it takes up a lot of room at this point, because it's a lot of cards. There's over 2,500 cards that I have now at this point. So, yeah, I'm still figuring that out. Oh, and if you don't know what Marvel Legendary is, I did a video all about it. You can check that out right here by clicking on this card that I'm pointing at right here. Cards are amazing, and I have started using them a lot more in videos. In fact, there was that video a few weeks ago where I had like 3 or 4 in it. I'm also now realizing that the card is probably gone at this point, so I can probably stop pointing at it. Speaking of Dungeons & Dragons, between Hero Forge, which is a website where you can design miniatures using pre-existing pieces, and then D&D Beyond, which is a website where you can... Basically, it has every D&D book in a digital format, and then also you can make characters and digital character sheets and all that, and it's just a really amazing website. Between those two sites, I've been making a bunch of characters just for the fun of it, and it really makes me just want to find more campaigns out there that I can join and play in, because the one that I'm currently in is not really cutting it, because I'm getting the Jones to play some more, and I really want to, so that's something I may be looking into. On D&D Beyond in the forums, they have a section where you can find people to join, so we'll see if I end up doing that. I mean, they would essentially all be strangers, and the only commonality would be that they have a love of D&D, so that's something we'll see if I actually get the nerve to do. As for my life in general right now, we are starting to reach the point where I will be working a whole heck of a lot. I will be starting to work 6 days a week here pretty consistently very soon, and eventually ramping up to about 12 hours a day. And yeah, it's the time of year where I get really exhausted, and you end up seeing a lot more of these videos where I just ramble because I have no creative juices left, because I've left it all on the floor of work, even though I don't necessarily have a creative job. But it's just the mental taxation of working that much. It really gets to me, especially as I'm getting older, because that's another thing. In about a month's time, I will be entering my last year of my 30s, which is terrifying. I know that age is just a number and all that, and 40 is the new 30, and 30 is the new 20, and all that stuff, but it's just, it's really starting to get to me that, wow, I'm going to be 40. I don't know exactly how I feel about that, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that'll be a year from now. I don't need to worry about that too much. You know, I've been thinking a lot lately that I haven't gone to my P.O. box in about 4 or 5 months, and I should really do that. I probably haven't gotten anything in it because really no one knows that it exists. And last time I went and checked it, it was all stuff for the person who had that P.O. box before me. But the main problem is that the post office closes at 7 o'clock, and generally the only nights that I don't rush home to either watch something on Twitch or go to a game night at work or something like that is Monday and Friday. So on those days I tend to go take care of errands and stuff after work, so I never make it back in this area before 7 o'clock. One of these days this week, though, I'm going to, I guess Monday, I'll have to go and do that. This is exciting stuff, I know. I wonder what could possibly be in there. All sorts of fan mail and fan art and stuff like that, or bills for people that aren't me, or just all sorts of junk mail, because that's essentially what I get in my actual mailbox. Man. Is this ASMR? Does this count as ASMR? ASMR is a really weird thing that is on the internet. I don't know if you have heard of it. It's essentially a thing where people use these special microphones and they make sounds into them like crinkling paper and stuff. And for like a certain percentage of the population, it's really soothing to listen to those things. And it's just a really bizarre thing. I personally am not in that section of the population, so I don't fully understand it, but I do understand that for the people that are in that percentage, it's a big deal. And there's all sorts of Twitch channels that are devoted to it now. I'm pointing over here because over here there's a monitor that has currently Twitch up on it. In fact, over here there's also a monitor that has Twitch currently up on it. So I could point to either of them and it would be the same. But yeah, if you just Google ASMR video, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you may discover something about yourself when you do. So according to my watch, it's currently 83 degrees, which is really ridiculous. I generally have fans going now 24/7, which is hiking up my utility bill, but that is to be expected around this time of year. I had to turn the fan off right now because it would be picked up in the microphone, and so as soon as I am done with this, I will be running over to turn that back on. Hopefully the major heat wave is over, because there was the day last week where it was over 100 degrees pretty much everywhere, and since then it's been 80s, 90s most of the time. Wow, talking about the weather, that's really reaching for something to talk about. So, you know what? This video isn't going to be very long, and I have accepted that. He says, as he normally says around this point in a video, and then when he gets around to editing it, it's like 15 minutes, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the case this time. So I'm going to go ahead and call this video right here. I need to go figure out something to eat, because that's a problem that I run into a lot, is that I kind of forget to put food in my apartment for when I'm not at work. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, that's going to do it for this week's video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. And with that, have a good however long it is, until you watch my next video.